Welcome to Sabado Session Podcast. This is again one of our Sheffield series episode. Today we have go Agata Sitko. How are you doing, Agata?
Hello, I'm doing great. Near the end of the cut, so excited to end this cut finally.
I'm gonna go straight to it because before even we start talking about everything else, how are you fitting losing weight and training? How are you feeling physically and mentally?
Actually, surprisingly well. I haven't felt like my recovery got worse or anything like that.
Mhm.
I'm not eating that little. I'm at like 27, 2800 calories. So not walking hungry or anything. So it actually feels pretty good.
So, I mean, for 2,800 calories, how much calorie were you before?
Leading up to classic works, I was eating around 30 to 100 calories to maintain. Anything below that, and my weight just started dropping. So
Wow, wow. So now is like, let's say with the 2,800 calories you're eating now, is your body weight stable now? It's like it's not fluctuating, it's not going up and down, but it's literally just stable.
it's actually going down pretty slowly. That's the goal, to like just cut a little bit more weight
Mhm.
and then do a gut cut
Now,
before compete.
where are you sitting, Rana?
Around 70 kilos. I actually broke the 69-kilo barrier on Sunday. That was my lightest weight since 2019, I believe. 69.8.
Wow, that's impressive. So that mean again, right? I think I've listened to, of course, the story around Evie Corrigan, the story around Tim Monagari dropping weight class below, and you are doing it again. I mean, I just want to get a little bit of your experience on it in terms of like I think I listened to Evie yesterday on the King of the Lift. She was saying, um, if you're not going to Sheffield, you're just lifting in a local meet or is just like in Europeans or world, it's not worth cutting weight, coming down to a weight class below because it's hard. So how are you experiencing that?
It's definitely hard mentally to be on a cut for this long.
Mhm.
The the fact that you can just go out and eat whatever you want and have to be very strict with your diet is pretty hard. But outside of that, to me, it wasn't really tough because, as I said, I was eating a lot leading up to works just to maintain my weight. My appetite was very low, and I actually wanted to go on a cut because I was so done with eating food. I was just forcing myself to finish every meal. So it was actually pretty smooth in my case.
That's
But
pretty good.
then again, yeah, I don't think it's worth cutting down in most cases. You can
Mhm.
just eat whatever you want and compete at the body weight that you are naturally at, unless you really want to be a world champion or something. But I would never cut for a local meet. That would just be too much for me.
I mean, it's true there. It's just like as you said, if you're going to a local meet or any whatever way class, whatever way you are, just go there and have fun rather than restricting yourself. Yes, I mean, again, right? I think I know the storyline start from myself and you. We had a conversation in Malta, even after Malta, we had a conversation back and forth. You cutting weight, um, of course, I promise you, I did not tell anybody. Right? I did not tell
Really.
anybody until you went Girls Power, you went on the King of the Lifts, you spoke to Ryan about it. I know people telling me, did you tell Ryan about this before Agata went? I was like, no, 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 I didn't. You know, I don't have a big mouth like other people do, like Mo. I don't. And so again, I mean, I'm gonna bring you back to the storyline here. So Agata 76 a world and Agata 69 a Sheffield, right? What was the incentive of you thinking, okay, I I will cut down to 69? Was it just something they planned after World, or is it came around after you did World?
So the first time we thought about it was actually right after Sheffield.
Mhm.
My coach kind of jokingly said that maybe we should cut for the next year and compete as a 69. I was pretty skeptical about it at first because, one, it's a pretty big cut and I don't really like cutting. Two, I was worried about my strength. But then as time passed and I realized that I have to eat so much to maintain my weight and I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to eat, I just thought that, yeah, we can take that chance, cut down. I will probably feel good on a cut since I just do full all the time and see how that goes. And the world record in the 69s is very low. So even if I lost a little bit of strength, I would still have a high chance of winning. But we thought that if we do this smart, if it's a very slow cut and very cautious, like with lots of protein and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I could actually maintain my strength. And since I'm still I'm a junior, I've been lifting for 5 years, so I can still make progress. I'm not like at my peak. Then, yeah, we thought it would be possible to maybe even gain some strength.
I mean, again, it's incredible to drop a weight class and still maintain your strength. It's just, again, I mean, in Malta, you had a good mate in Malta. Do you know what I mean? To me, when I look at your performance in Malta, probably trumped what you had in South Africa. I know in South Africa people call it one of the biggest meat Agata Sitko ever had, but I don't believe so. You know, probably it only goes one of the biggest meat because Jess had to pull the biggest deadlift on the planet to win. Do you know what I mean? Probably that's why.
Yeah.
But in terms of you leading to South Africa, because you knew you were going up against Jess, you were going up against Carlina again. So even though you had them in Sheffield last year, the year literally a month before that. So how was the prep leading to that? Was it just like, okay, let's go to Malta and qualify for Sheffield, or let's go into Malta and actually win and break a world record total?
The prep for Worlds was pretty terrible. I was dealing with a lot of lower back pain, so at the beginning I couldn't even squat or deadlift. I was like doing 150 kilos for my squat top single and 180 for my deadlift top single, and they were pretty heavy. So I had to be very cautious with weights, with volume and stuff, and do a lot of rehab. Uh, I actually failed two 30-kilo deadlift and 197.5 kilo squat 1 week before the meet. And that was like, fuck, what now?
Jesus.
So my deadlift technique was terrible. It was very unpredictable. And yeah, so I was really surprised that I was able to lift this much on midday because the prep just wasn't great at all.
I mean, I think of course, I had Carolina and here I spoke about it with her in your performance in Malta. I don't think a lot of people don't realize how close this was. Do you know what I mean? In terms of you and her. So just on the context here, you total 590.5 and Carolina total 593. So that was just about one lift. That's how close it was. And then even Carolina said it. I was surprised how good Agata turned up that day because I don't think even herself and the team were. Yes, Dom as a Carolina coach always he speak highly of you in terms of like your progress, your strength, what you've done in powerlifting. But in terms of that day when you came around, the way you perform, they were not expecting it. You know, I was expecting Agata to be good, but not that good because me and you were talking about when you're having a few issues and niggles. I was like, oh, if Carlin is to have the best day there, Agata will be maybe third, right? Especially if just come in and pull 265. So this is going to be a hard one for Agata. So as you said yourself, like you surprised yourself with the numbers, but in terms of like the game plan leading to that comp with your coach, did you had almost like a top end for you?
Well, the main goal was to just uh, maintain strength or
Mhm,
regain what I had before this meet. And like that's actually the first meet that my coach fully programmed for me.
mhm.
And I think that's why it turned out so well because he's much smarter than me. So he knew what to do with that. So uh, I was kind of hoping I would be close to 600
Mhm.
again. And yeah, I wanted to win, of course, but I was really surprised with what I ended up doing.
It was incredible because if you had your last bench press, which was
Oh,
160, 156 kilo, which is more than one man can bench nowadays. So if you had that bench, we'll be talking a different story right now, right?
Yeah,
Story would be different because I know Carolina's team, of course, they could have loaded it a little bit more on other lifts as well to just make sure close the gap. But if you had that 3 kilos that you miss, it would have been a different story. So I mean, again, you was in Sheffield last year, and you did not have the best day. You know, what I mean, I know people talk about Agata is this tremendous athlete, and to me, you going to Sheffield totaling five, what is it, 556 that you totaled at Sheffield?
something like that.
To me, that's not the Agata that we know. So I know you were dealing with a lot of injury leading to that, but overall, what was your experience of the comp itself? Not so much about your training because we know you were injured leading to this one, right? But the comp itself, what did you take when you finished that comp? What did you get out of it? Apart from the money,
So
of course.
first of all, it was a totally different experience. As other people have already said, it felt like we are finally professional athletes with all the media coverage, the interviews and stuff. So I was going there a little bit upset that I'm injured and I knew I wouldn't be a contender for gold and I knew I wouldn't show up at my best health. And the
Mhm,
goal was just to break the bench press world record.
mhm.
But like I thought I would be more upset with this, with my performance, but just the whole, I don't know, this entire meet was such a cool experience that I just couldn't be mad about this. I was just so happy to be there to experience all of that. We in the first Sheffield ever, and yeah, the bench. I was just excited. I mean, I was just happy I got one attempt because that was so stressful. I don't think I've ever been this stressed in my career.
I think. I mean, let's talk. No, let's talk about that, right? I know the stress when you're talking about missing your first attempt, missing your second attempt, and you got one more to go. I mean, I watched you at Equipped at the World Games. It was pretty much similar thing.
But like it's much different with equipped because equipped is generally much less predictable.
Mm.
And like I knew what was wrong on my first and second attempt. I knew that the bench just wasn't perfectly I don't know how to
Set
say that.
up.
Yeah, but it wasn't how it should be. So I knew what we had to do for my third attempt for me to hit it. And at Sheffield, the problem was with the new rule.
Rules.
So going into this meet, I was pretty confident that my bench would pass because I did all the like back angle, I drew the lines
Mm.
as they showed in this video that they posted.
Mm.
I also watched some international comps to see how they are judging this.
Mhm.
And yeah, we were pretty confident that my bench would pass, but the problem is that my left elbow is lower than my right elbow, and the right elbow is like borderline, a
Mhm.
bit too high maybe. So yeah, we hoped I would just get it, but my first attempt, I got 2-1. One judge gave me a red for skipping the press comment, well, and the other one gave me for deaf. So for my second attempt, I tried sinking the bar to hit depth for sure. But since I didn't really do a lot of it in training, I just lost my position, didn't have strength to press it. So I just didn't know what to do. I didn't have any other ideas on what I could do to make sure I can hit my third attempt, and that's why I was so stressed. I was just like ready to cry any moment.
I, but I was told the story is a few people in the back, a few some other coaches that came to trying to help you to get
Yeah,
this depth. I mean, this is an unbelievable story when you know you have go athletes out there that potentially can be winning or can be placing ahead of you, but you turn around to help someone that you're competing against with. Again, I mean, this is what we get in powerlifting. You don't really get that in football elsewhere. You don't see Man City playing Barcelona or Manchester United saying, okay, you see Man United manager helping Man City how to win. No, do you know what I mean? It doesn't work. So, from your experience, can you tell us a little bit more about what advice did you receive exactly, and from who, if you remember on that moment because you were stressed?
I remember a few people came up to me. Definitely Eric and Jessica. They
Mm,
were trying to like help and give me some advice. I don't really remember what exactly they told me,
mm.
but yeah, I'm pretty sure someone else also came up to me. But like that felt very, very cool that they were trying to help in the situation because, as I said, I was so stressed. I was just ready to cry any moment, and yeah, just
But
getting.
did you cry though?
No, I did not end up crying. I was just sitting like this, something like that. So
I mean, again, right, at that moment, I don't know what I would do, especially on a competition like Sheffield, or let's say an event like Sheffield, because the
yeah,
first one, just imagine the first one ever for you to bomb out.
yeah,
You know
would
what I
be
mean?
awful.
I think you'll probably be a superstar because the people you taking like, oh, who bombed out Sheffield? Agata. Do you know what I mean? So you probably make a name out of yourself. But I'm glad you came up, you hold your nerves and you hit it. And I'm sure probably the way I saw your last attempt and your first attempt, yeah, your first attempt you jumped command. But in terms of like your technique, the elbow, it was the same. Do you know what I mean? It was exactly the same. But I'm glad.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And another thing is that if you look at Jad's bench, she got 3 white lights on her first attempt, and her bench is very similar to mine. She also has her
Mhm.
right elbow higher, and
Mhm.
yeah, it looks pretty much the same. So yeah, that rule is just weird.
Yeah, that rule is a myth. But anyway, moving on from Sheffield last year again, as I said, you were injured leading to it, but you had the best experience ever, right? In terms of like the way everything runs and all of that. I mean, my next question will be like because of what you guys did at Sheffield, high elite athletes like you guys, what you've accomplished, the effort you put on that platform. Do you think that Sheffield event, not the next Sheffield that's coming, just last year Sheffield, do you think that has had impact on powerlifting in Poland?
Hmm. It's really hard to say because powerlifting is in Poland is much more developed on the untested side because of how the meets look on the untested and tested side. But I did see some young people saying that their goal in powerlifting is to go to Sheffield.
Mhm.
So that's definitely pushing some people. And yeah, I think that if they continue to put up this meet, maybe more people will turn to the tested side because IPF is now really gaining great momentum. And yeah, it's the biggest
I mean,
federation right now.
it's I think in Britain, of course, we've experienced the impact of Sheffield across the our competition that we run, the quality of it, and even the quality of liftings. To be honest, I mean, things have improved massively due to that. So we've seen that. Is My other question to you is yes, at Sheffield last year, you had again the storyline of Evie coming in and dropping weight class, winning, and did all of that the effect of the experience, having the best day at Sheffield, and now you dropping to the 69, is it almost like pushing you to do what Evie did?
Hmm. I hope I can do what she did. It's like I don't know if it's pushing me to do that. It's more like it inspired me to do that, I would say.
That's good. I mean, again, it's something like we always say dropping weight class is harder than moving up the weight class, and especially to keep your strength, it's just ridiculous. I mean, you're going up against Leah, you're going up against Carola, and I've had both on the podcast. Carola one is dropping literally very soon. Um, One of the things they mentioned again is it's almost the same. The talent in the 69. The talent in the 69 is incredible. Is this something like you're looking, thinking, I want to be part of the not just Sheffield, but moving forward?
I'm actually planning to go back up to the 76s after Sheffield. We'll see, like the make the final decision after the comp. But to me, if I can hit as a 69 a total that would be competitive in the 76s, then there's no point for me to stay in the 69s. I can just slowly bulk back up to 76 and finish the business there. And another reason is that I want to compete at Equipped Open Worlds this year. And this would be my final Equipped meet, like the last big one, go all out. And I would like to hit a 300 kilo squat and an 800 kilo total. So to do that, I would have to be at around 80 kilo body weight, I think. So yeah, the goal is to just start slowly bulking back up and compete as an 84 in November.
I mean,
Wait,
again, what you said there, like slowly bulk up. Yeah, when if you hit, of course, you spoke about total. If you hit something reasonable that you can be competitive at 76, what's the point of you staying? I agree with you. You know what I mean? So again, it's the same thing. What I said, there's no such a weak to or a weak world record. Even though I've said this in the past, but I said it in context of elite athletes, in context of for all what the bread can be at Sheffield. Do you know what I mean? So if you're talking these numbers, so why stay? So when we're talking about these numbers, what numbers are we talking here about you potentially thinking? I'm not talking about individual lift, but total. What total are you thinking Agata Sitko is capable at 69? And I will reveal what the other girls have said. I'm sure you've listened to Leah anyway.
yeah, yeah. So if I don't hit 600, I'll be disappointed. That's what I'm gonna say.
Lord Christ. The world total at 76 is 600 kilos.
Yes.
So you dropping to 70 to 69 and you're gonna hit a 600 total. While the world record at 50 at 69 is 549.
Yep.
And you wanna add 51 kilos on top of that.
Hopefully, that's the plan.
And if people say Agatha is an alien, would you say that they're lying?
I don't know. Would have to ask my mom if she found me in the forest.
Yeah, 51 kilo on a world record is huge. It's huge. And then
Yeah, but you have to take into account that the 69 kilo weight class is underdeveloped. The world record is lower than in the 63s. So it's not that crazy. It's just that this weight class is underdeveloped.
I believe you because that world record is lower than the 63. You're right there. Because the 63 world record is I think it sits the total here. Let me just have a look.
I
It,
think it's like 557 or something like that.
yeah, that's from Carola, isn't it? Yeah,
Wasn't it Leah?
Carola Gara,
Carola? Oh, okay.
557.5. So and the 69 is 549 as we said. But again, in terms of like you getting that 600, what are the individual lifts now we're talking? I mean, with you, I don't think you'll be going for the squat world record, are you? Would you?
No, definitely not. Uh, for squat, I think something around 195 to 100 would be good. I
Mhm.
think I'm capable of that. For bench, we're loading 160, and I'm staying for real this time. I think that's possible. Bench is always surprisingly light on midday compared to training. So if I can hit 155 in training, then I believe 160 is doable. And deadlift, honestly, I don't know. Deadlifts are always the biggest mystery to me because like they can go terribly in training and then show up on the platform out of nowhere. But yes, something around a world record. I will go for the world record on deadlifts. That's for sure.
Yeah. Again, talking about, I'm laughing because these women are incredible. The world record, of course, is stand at 240 by Kimberly Warford, right at 69. So, is it is this so, so? If you're talking about you're gonna go for the world record here on the deadlifts, so are we talking about? Of course, you're gonna pull 240 plus. I
Hopefully.
mean, I'm not doubting you because these are not the numbers are not unrealistic in terms of like your strength. In the squat, you've
Yes.
done that before. The deadlift, you pulled something like that before. The bench press 160, you've never done that before, right? It's something
Yeah.
like yes. So talking about 160, you're not going to open with the world record, are you? Please listen to me like you did in Malta.
Listen to me. If I want to open below the world record, I would have to put 132.5 for my opener. So that means I would have to take at least 10 kilo jump for my second attempt, or even more if I want to finish with 160. It's not my fault that the world record is so low. It's 144 kilos. What can I do? I'm just gonna take an attempt that I'm sure I can hit, even if it's a world record attempt. I'll train it with longer poses and all that kind of stuff to make sure I can hit it.
So
Don't worry.
the world record is 144.
Yeah,
So you open with the world record, and Carola will exactly probably do the same. Do you know what I mean? Because when you come to bench, both of you on the bench press, you're different animals. I think I spoke to Carola about this in terms of like, I look at your career, I look at Carola's one, it's almost go hand to hand, right? It's almost parallel because Carola has experienced, equipped, and she's done equipped to the highest level, right? In terms of like winning world games, and yourself is exactly the same. Equipped, you experience equipped to the highest level in terms of winning world games. So when you go up against each other, is there something that goes in your mind thinking, okay, I'll probably have to change my game here because I'm going up against someone that experienced what I have experienced? Is this that playing in your mind, or you just going into this like any other competition?
I'm going into this like any other competition. I have competed against people with a lot of experience, like just Bittner. So like, and yeah, that's actually we can touch on something that annoys me in when people talk about me, which is that I lack experience, which is annoying because like how many times do I have to compete for people to stop saying this? I have competed internationally 13 times, which is more than Leah did, for instance. And yeah, I competed at Sheffield, at World Games, at Classic Open Worlds, Equipped Open Worlds. What else do I have to be experienced? You know?
I mean, I never said you don't have the experience because you've done world games and won, right? For someone, especially that world game that I was watching it, you miss your first attempt, squat at bench, you miss your second. I was just like, oh my god, Agata's gonna bomb out here, and you come in and hit your third. If that's no experience, I don't know that what else is. Do you know what I mean? And again, as you mentioned here, leading toward this year against Carolina. Carolina, who is is a non, I'm not. Carolina is a different thing, right? You're going up against someone like that. Almost everybody else will write you off when you're going up against Carolina. I'm sorry. I'm sorry how strong the other 76 are in the world, but when you're going up against Carolina, you're just thinking like, shit, I'm going to fight for second place, right? But you win, not having the shittest prep of your life, winning toe to toe with Carolina, and almost won it on the bench press that you didn't get. So to me, if that's no experience, I don't know what else is. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, so anyone that says you don't have experience, send the name to me. I'll find them. Don't worry, I'll find them for you. Um, Going back to Sheffield, right? So again, you mentioned about what your numbers potentially will be. So in terms of your competitors like Leah and Carlina, do you have in mind what number do you think they will be hitting?
It's hard to predict as they both aren't sharing a lot of their training, but yeah, I believe they will hit something around 585 maybe. That's definitely possible. But I don't know about the specific lifts because they don't post their training a lot, so it's
So
harder to predict.
if they hit around 585 and you're thinking about 600, so yeah, I can't even ask you who's gonna win. I can't ask that question, is it? You know what I mean? The answer is right there. So I mean, are you thinking about, because you're gonna be doing equipped equipped world championship is in November this year, as you mentioned there. Do the 69 in Sheffield and then go back to 76. So it means doing Lithuania at the 76.
Yes,
You know? So in Lithuania, would you be thinking about another Sheffield invite, or would you have a mindset thinking about the World Games? But this time is wrong. Just imagine Agata has a World Games equipped medal, and Agata end up getting a World Games raw medal. I think if you win Sheffield this year, you get all of that. What else can you do? You can just retire in peace, right?
I
So,
can go to the untested side then.
oh, so you're gonna switch straight away to have fun over there. So, I mean, what's your mindset in terms of like Lithuania? What's the plan for Lithuania?
To win a world title, get the World Games, qualify for the World Games, and yeah, that's probably it.
But regardless, you will be to the World Games because if you do equipped in November and win that, you will be to the World Games anyway. Is this something? Because to me, I'm thinking, oh, you just want to shit on somebody's spot here, right?
I just
Because
want to compete, go in the World Games because that's I haven't done that before. So
so would you be doing if you because if you win Lithuania, you go your of course an invite, automatic invite for the World Games. Whoever you come second, whoever you come third, you get an invite because these are the stipulations. So what about in terms of like if you go for the equipped and you win, what would you do at World Games? Would you do equipped or raw?
if possible, I would like to do both. If the uh, timetable will allow this. If, for instance, row is first and then like a day or 2 days later equipped, then I will do both. If equipped is first, then I will just do row. So the main goal is to compete row, and that's what I will prep for. But if it's possible, I'll just put on the equipment for a few sessions and compete equipped too.
I mean, you see, you mentioned there, like you made a comment, passing comment there. I'm gonna go back to it. I didn't skip it when you said to me after you win everything, you go to the untested. You've said this on your Instagram. You posted the other day as the Q&A you ask. I'm just gonna tell you this. That response caused a lot of conversation around, right?
Yep.
I don't know whether you knew what you was doing. I'm sure you knew what you was doing, right? So the purpose you were doing it, you were successful. Definitely successful, right? Because everybody are talking about it, right? So when you put comments like that, what reaction are you expecting from your powerlifting community?
I didn't really expect any reaction. I was just answering the question. I've been thinking about it for a while and I made up my mind that this is just something I want to do in the future because I want to be as big and strong as possible. So, like, there is a natural limit to this and just want to see what is possible with a little bit of help. But, like, yeah, I I wonder if a lot of people probably don't believe that top athletes in the IPF are natural anyway. So saying this might be like, "No, what are you talking about? You're already on gear or something." But like, yeah, I didn't expect any reaction.
But again, the thing is that because of your level, the level you are, probably someone like me, if I say something like that, no one will care, right? No one will care at all, right? But someone like you post something like that, and all the eyes are open and thinking like, oh, why is she casually talking about PEDs like someone's buying bloody sweets from a corner shop? Do you know what I mean? So you can't be talking about PEDs because you're a WADA supervised athlete or WADA were tracked or tested or whatever they call us nowadays. So if you are one of them, you can't be talking about it. It's almost become like a taboo where a
Hmm.
tested athlete cannot talk about anything untested, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's not cheating to take gear when you're competing in the untested side, right? You can't take it if you're competing in the IPF because you're tested. But if you compete untested, then what's the problem? I really don't understand the stigmatization of PEDs. It's just a thing. Of course, it can be dangerous to you if you do it in a stupid way. But if you have someone smart to coach you through this, if you don't break the rules or anything like that, then what's the problem with that?
So basically, what you're saying is, as top tier athlete, they should be allowed, or they should be able to talk about this kind of thing, no having a second thought in their mind thinking, oh, what would people think if I talk? Because again, as I said to you, any top IPF athlete talk about PEDs, the conversation start. Oh, he's talking about it because she's on it. Because you answering that question on your Instagram, I got a lot of DMs, people asking me, why is she casually talking about it? Is she on PEDs? Do you know what I mean? What
Just
does she know
describe
about
it.
it? I was like, look, go and ask her. I have no idea. Do you know what I mean? Me, I'm allergic to PEDs. I can't talk about it. You know what I mean? So, so again, like, because the reason I brought this conversation is because I just wanted to see your thoughts in terms of like, when you sit there at home, you talk about it on social media, how do you expect people to receive what you're saying? Because again, as I said, you are a top tier athlete. For you to casually talk about PEDs always open people's mind. Why is she casually talking about it like this? You know. So what you're saying, it shouldn't be a taboo. We should talk about it.
Yeah,
You know.
just pretty much.
Yeah.
There are a lot of topics that people try to, I don't know, not talk about. I forgot the word. But yeah, I think everything is something that you can talk about.
Mhm.
Like, why can't we talk about PEDs? Like, what's wrong with that? You know,
So when are we thinking? When are you thinking here for Agatha to start juicing up? When?
I don't have a specific time in mind. Either when I accomplish everything I want to accomplish as a natural, or like I don't know, just in a few years.
So just remember, when you start juicing up, if you see me, don't say hello. Because
Okay.
I'm allergic to it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not one of them skeptical guys that don't talk about it. Of course, yes, you need to be talked about. But again, I think as IPF athletes, as professionals as we are, we just need to be. Again, this is not on you. This is again on the community itself. Everybody else, we just need to be mindful how we start these conversations because we represent a top federation. So let's link our name into the goodness, which is what you're doing. You're linked your name into your IPF into the goodness, and then openly you've said, if I achieve what I need to achieve, I'm gonna go and do the badness, which means not badness in my view, not in your view, not in everybody's view. I'm gonna do badness, go and do untested, which is a normal thing. Do you know what I mean? You're open with it. The saddest part about it is we have lifters in the IPF where they're using PEDs. Why don't you just go untested?
Yeah.
You know, don't come and compete against people that actually put in the hard work. You know, people that actually don't have probably the means to do this. They don't want to be using PEDs. You know, you're competing against these people. That's just unfair. You know, so to me, that's where I leave that conversation. Anyway, let's close that PEDs conversation because I just wanted to get your view because you openly spoke about it. A lot of noise is coming toward you in terms of like, why is she talking about it? Why is she talking about it? As you said, we should be talking about it. And especially when you give people the plan. Look, I'm going to achieve what I need to achieve, and the next stop is where I'm going to be. So, talking about now the future, we spoke about the Sheffield, what you probably might be achieving at Sheffield, and talking about it, the achievement at Sheffield does not just come as a 69. He comes with other women that you're going to be competing against, right? So, where do you think the not the danger, but the challenge will be for you not to be able to win Sheffield in terms of all the women you're going to be competing against?
Hmm. I think the main challenge are the 69th because of how low the world record is. Other weight classes are gonna have it much harder. Like I, for instance, checked what the 57s would have to total to come close to us, and they would have to total around 550 kilos. So that would be crazy. Super heavyweights would need to total around 750 kilos.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know if there's any threat from someone from a different weight class.
So again, right, what you said there, like no shade to every other weight class out there, but the 69, look, the 369 that are going to Sheffield are capable of the numbers that you guys are talking about, right? In terms of like 580, 570, 590, you guys are capable. You know, a 600 will be a stretch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a friend to you. I'm gonna be honest. 600 will
I
be
know.
a perfect 949 Agata with a little bit more on the top, a cherry cap on top of the 600, right? But in terms of like the 580, 570, 590, you three of you guys are capable. Do you know what I mean? And I spoke to Leah here. I spoke to Carola. I said, look, I'm not doubting these numbers because you're capable, right? But the other weight classes as well, no discarding people like Evie went to Malta, did not take her last deadlift, almost walked through Malta of RB 8 or 9.09 with equal the world record at 52. And to me, it tells me she has a lot more in her if she's pushed. She proved it when she did the New Zealand national as a very, very light 57. She total, I think, was 480 or 80 plus, something like that. So to me, that's a 20 kilo there. That's a lot of weight. If she can maintain that to Sheffield, then you guys will have to think about it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
as
right.
much as the other world record look lower, but the guys that come in for those world record are so much stronger now. You know, so let no let no push it to 84. You know, so the 84 plus the world record is what it sits 693. As you said, am I seeing another 40 kilo on that world record or 50 kilos? I mean, I've seen Sonata squatting 300.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Anything is possible. So in terms of your, if I can ask you for your podium finishes, one, two, three, in order, not in particular, in order, who do you think the top three will be?
Yeah, I really don't know. Like Sheffield can be so unpredictable. We saw that last year, so hmm, that's hard to say. But I wouldn't be surprised if the podium was all 69s.
So basically, we're talking about Leah, Carola, and you, or you, Leah, Carola.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the result, but as I said, it's pretty unpredictable, so we'll see on the meet
I mean,
course.
it's incredible, right? Because the 69, as I said, it was an undeveloped weight class, but now it's just like everybody is pushing. So I don't know if you watched the European the last time around, the European the 69. So what did impress you most when you watched it?
Hmm, I don't know.
So that means you didn't watch it because if you did,
I did, but like
that
maybe Clara's last deadlift to 37.5, that was really close to the open world record, and she's still a junior.
that's I mean that deadlift. I was watching that deadlift. I was just to myself, Jesus Christ, that's a huge deadlift. You know,
Yeah.
69, and for her to lucky as a junior is incredible. That's another 69 that's coming from the woodwork. You know what I mean? I think Clara was going to be a tremendous lifter coming forward in that weight class. And then, of course, in Britain, we have got two very, very good 69, especially in Annie Nelson, especially seeing Annie adding over 30 kilo on a total. It's just, it's fucking stupid. You don't get 30 kilo every day. You know, you get 30 kilo from people going to Sheffield like you talking about 600, Leah talking about 585 or 590 or 600 or whatever. And then you go Carola. So you're talking about these numbers. And then just to see that happening at Heroes, to me, when it happened at the Euros, I just was like, Jesus Christ, what am I witnessing? You know, it's just incredible. So on the men's side, Agata, if you had to pick three top finished on finishers on a men, who would they be?
Might be Kaiko, Olivares, and Gavin. I don't know.
So basically, you've gone Kaiko to win, Jesus to come
I'm not
second.
talking in this order. Just
Okay, no, no, you're
it's
just talking
pretty.
about the top three.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically what you're saying, the exact same top three from last year.
Why not? I'm not that like knowledgeable when it comes to the men's world records and stuff, so it's harder to predict.
I mean, you see, this is what I find very interesting, right? when I have men guests and I ask them about powerlifting, women powerlifting, the man have got pretty good knowledge about where the women's are in terms of like competition, people coming up and all of that stuff. But when I ask women about men, the other way around, the women they don't know nothing about men.
It's not like I know nothing because like I follow all these top athletes. I watch them compete and stuff, but I just can't remember the numbers they're putting. I don't know why. I just if you ask me about the world record in the 93s, I'd be like, no idea. Even though I compete with them at Worlds every time. I don't know what they're lifting.
I
So
mean,
that's more like that.
that's fine. I mean, it's not everybody not everybody's a numbers person, numbers people because people watch lifters, they like lifters, but they don't even know numbers. Do you know what I mean? So even myself, to be honest, when you ask me some of the ladies' numbers, I'll just be like, "Who's that? Who are you talking about?" Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I kind of get what you mean. So Agata, I think this is I'm getting to the end here. Last few questions. I know you're going to Sheffield. You're going up again to the 66. We spoke about the plans moving forward, but in terms of Sheffield itself, do you think the qualifying structure of Sheffield has had an impact on how people perform as a performer world?
Definitely. People don't want to push the world record because that would be stupid. Like yeah, you saw for instance Evie, she didn't go for her first deadlift. Leah did the same. And I think that people who have to compete against someone else, they push themselves to the limit. But if you're in a weight class where you have a bit of a where you're stronger than the rest, then they just don't push themselves because it would be stupid. So
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? But to me, because maybe I'm going to talk about because I don't go to Sheffield or because I'm not going to be to Sheffield yet. But is this something like is almost taking the value of a world championship away from all the glory that we should be giving the world championship? Is Sheffield has taken that away from it?
yeah, I think to an extent, yes. And like yeah, people are not anymore trying to lift as much as possible to, for instance, be the best lifter and stuff like that. So but moving forward, I think we'll have more head-to-head battles in each weight class, so people will still have to push themselves to win the world title.
Yeah,
Hopefully, it will go
because
back.
the talent pool is growing, isn't it? The talent is growing, and the more I think Sheffield has had an impact on people watching at home, thinking, okay, someone is training in some commercial gym, watch Sheffield,
Mm.
thinking, okay, not just the money, but the production is amazing. I want to be there, as you mentioned in Poland. You got young people now joining the sport, wanting to go Sheffield. So this is will bring out these people that are training in these gyms that they don't consider powerlifting to actually getting serious with it. I hope literally that's the case because otherwise, the World Championship was just going to be a battleground for a qualification. It's
Yeah,
not going to be the prestige will go away from being a world champion. People be like, "You're a world champion, so what? I'm going Sheffield. I don't give a shit about the world championship." Do you know what I mean? So we don't want that to get to that point. So hopefully, SBD and the IPF they will probably sit together, sit down again, and think the structure of these things going forward, just for the world championship to keep that glory always. Otherwise, just yeah, you'll be sad. So in terms of like the other ladies you will be going up against in Sheffield, what message are you sending everybody? From
mm,
Sonita with her 300 squat, right? All the way to Amanda Lawrence pulling 270 or whatever. Everybody, what message are you sending them?
train hard. I
Train hard
don't
because
know.
Agata is coming to win, right?
And train hard. Just train hard. Don't add words to this.
So do you actually watch some of these lifters training and think, fuck, she's gone strong. Jesus Christ. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
What reaction
Uh,
you had when you saw Sunita squatting 300?
that's fucking insane. Like, how is this possible?
Is it he's
That
just
was genuinely. my reaction, like what the hell?
I mean, when I saw it, I was just like, this is not even a joke anymore. It's not even about me saying, when people go, oh, congratulations, or that was strong. I was just, no, 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 not congratulations. That's not normal. What the fuck? I'm not going to congratulate you for something that is inhuman. You know what I mean? That is not right. I literally messaged Sonita. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? This is not right. This is the wage like the mans are struggling with. And you
Yes.
made it look like it's nothing. What the fuck? So yeah, it's incredible. So yeah, I can't wait to have her on the podcast. Probably next week I'm gonna have Sonita, so we'll talk about that one. So yeah, Agata, thank you again for coming in. Thank you for talking Sheffield again. Thank you for talking about the future plans, and I wish you well. And you finish the past a few. You only got a few weeks left. You know what I mean, of training, and then I will see you in Sheffield in the next couple of weeks. And that cut you're doing, I hope it goes well. I hope as soon as you drop that bar at Sheffield, go McDonald's. And
Nah. If anything, KFC.
no, go KFC. Get big bucket of
Yeah.
KFC. Enjoy, because I'm sure
I
with a 600
I'm
total,
going.
you'll have the check.
The plan is to, for a week after Sheffield, eat as unhealthy and as much as possible, so that then I'm sick of unhealthy food for the rest of the year.
So you can actually build up slowly to the 76 again for Lithuania. Oh, that's
Yeah.
incredible. And I can't wait for that. To all the listeners, anyone that listening to us, if you have a question or anything we spoke about here that you didn't like or you were not too sure about, drop us a comment or send Agata a message or a comment. She will reply. She always does. And if you want to be part of this podcast, drop me a message and you'll be more than welcome to sit down here with me. Next time I get Agata here, you'll be questioning Agata rather than me questioning Agata, not even knowing what to ask Agata. If you have better questions, bring it. Agata is an open book. We'll talk about it. On that note, speak to you soon.